Hello, everyone, and welcome here to episode 2 of the Nixa Pace Show. I'm Aiden Hopkins alongside Coach Hughes, head coach of the Nixa baseball team. Hughes, almost 20 games this season. What have you seen from the team that you like, and what do you think there's some little things you can improve on?
Yeah, I think we're competing every pitch. We've been really, really good on the mound so far this entire season. And as we've gotten more into it and more consistent, our bats are coming around. And so I like what I'm seeing.
Tough 0-4 start to the season. I mean, went to California, lost 3, then faced Glendale. But then you guys bounced back immediately with a 10-game win streak. You guys are now 12-7. What was the message to the team after that loss to Glendale that put a fire in them to get 10 straight?
You know, I don't think we really changed a whole lot. We just kept doing what we were doing. The teams we faced in California were really good. And then we came home and we faced a really good pitcher for Glendale and Wedgeworth. And, lefty that mixed it up, kept us off balance. We hit some balls hard, but another close game. I think out of our 7 losses, 6 of them have been by 2 or 1 runs. And so we've been in every game with a chance to win. It's crazy the difference in winning and losing. And, if we win all those games by 1 run, we're sitting here at 17-1 or so. And so we're just continuing to learn what it takes to win.
One thing you already mentioned this a little bit is the bats have started to warm up. I mean, first 4 games, this offense have combined for 5 runs, and the next 4 after that, they combined for 30. So the bats are starting to heat up. Baseball's such a hard sport to coach. Like, what did you do to the team to get their bats hot?
Yeah, we just needed to stick with our fundamentals. At times we hit the ball in the air a little bit too often with as much team speed as we have. So we just kind of adjusted some of the things we were working on at our practices to help our guys be more consistent, attacking the top half of the ball better, so that our misses were better misses, and they were misses on the ground that with our speed we could beat those out. Just kind of getting back to working hard and doing our thing and trusting the process.
We talked about this a little bit in the first episode, but the strength of schedule you guys had this year is pretty ridiculous. I mean, you just beat the defending state champions, number 17 in Class 6, and number 16 in Class 5. I mean, so many great teams. Why do you feel it's so important that your squad sees as many teams as possible?
Yeah, we've got such a large group returning from last year's team that made a deep run, so our expectations are really high. We know now that we can compete at that level with all those big teams, and it's just going to help us moving forward. The better teams, the better arms, the better bats that we can face more consistently. Even if we struggle a little bit here and there, like sometimes we are, just 1 inning or 1 outing or something, it's going to pay off in the end.
You talked about this, that every single team is going to throw their best arm against you. And how do you adjust to just seeing every single team's ace? And do you like it? Do you like that as a coach? Because it prepares you for anything you can get. Yeah,
no doubt. I mean, last year we went to the postseason and we saw 93, 94 from Liberty North, and then we saw 91, 93 from Jackson. And so the better arms we can face, our averages are probably going to be a little bit low. Our team runs might be a little bit lower. But again, ultimately, it's about setting us up for the postseason. And so all of those at-bats that we're getting are doing just that. I think it's going to pay off for our guys in the end.
One thing I've seen so far is the depth this baseball team has. I mean, every position has multiple people that pretty much go to most schools around here and get a starting spot, but they stay in Nixa and you let them get playing time. So how refreshing is it to have a whole roster that can play all positions at any time?
Yeah, it's kind of a catch-22 because it's really good, but it's also tough at times because we do have so much talent and we do have so many guys that can play and play different roles. And what it's helping is it's helping the guys who are getting to play. It's helping them know they have to keep getting better because they have another guy right behind them that can take their position. So ultimately, the competition at every position is really good for us because it's making us as a team a whole lot better. It's extremely difficult from a coaching standpoint because we want everybody to play. I would love everybody to get opportunities every day to play because they deserve that, because they all work so hard. It's obviously not possible. So that's what makes it difficult is this sport, especially hitting, it's so much about getting into a rhythm. And as a hitter, you just need at-bats and you need consistent at-bats. And it's really hard for a guy to know, if he goes out there, hey, this is my shot. I got to try to go 3 for 4 or 4 for 4. Otherwise, I might be out for 3 more games. And so that's difficult for guys, and we understand that. So we're trying to allow our guys to work through some ups and downs, hoping that we'll start to gain some consistency.
You talked about taking advantage of the shot you get, and one thing that pops out to me is that Glendale game. Caleb Jones came in a pinch hit. He got 1 at bat, and he got a single. And after that, we've seen him as a consistent starter in the starting lineup. So that one at bat, it really touches you as a coach because you.
Yeah, he's done a really good job just being competitive in his at bats, and that's really what we look for in coaches. You don't have to go 3 for 4, 4 for 4. We're looking for guys that have consistency in their at bats. When they do get out, they're productive, but they're getting in the batter's box and they're competing, and we can see that as coaches. And so that's what we're trying to get from top to bottom in this lineup is just competitive at bats, team quality at bats when they get in there. From 1 through 9, and Caleb has done a really good job at the bottom of our lineup. He's actually one of our top hitters, but he's getting on base a lot, and that's what you need from the bottom of the lineup to turn that lineup over to the top guys so that we can drive in more runs.
All right, that's all I got for you. Thank you for stopping by. Next up, we got a right-handed pitcher with first baseman senior Nate Huber coming up. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Here with right-handed pitcher, first baseman senior Nate Huber. Nate, how you doing today?
Good.
So almost 20 games of the season. What are some things you like from you and the team so far?
Well, we have came back from struggling early and found a rhythm.
First thing I want to ask you is, as a senior, how has your role in the locker room changed, and how do you help lead the team as a senior?
I would say I'm not great leading with words because I'm pretty quiet, but more so with actions.
You started as the quarterback for Nixa this year and have cemented yourself as a starter in this year's rotation. How has your football playing transition over to baseball?
Just the same competitive aspect. I feel like the intensity when pitching is about the same.
Really tough game against Fayetteville this Friday. How are you preparing for that game?
I don't know yet.
And that Liberty North, that was one of the best games I've ever seen you pitch. I mean, how big of a confidence boost was that for you as a pitcher?
I like to think I can expect to do well, and the defense played great. So.
And one thing for pregame, do you have any superstitions that you like to do before a game? Is it a routine? What do you do?
Not really any superstitions. Maybe the same stretches.
Same stretches. All right. That's all I got for you. Coming up next is catcher and second baseman senior Gary Goff. with catcher, second baseman Gary Gove. Gary, how you doing today?
I'm doing good.
All right, so 19 games in the season. What are some things you like from you as a player and as the rest of the team as well?
Yeah, I'll just start with the team. I think we're competing right now. We've had a chance in pretty much every game we've played this year. So I think in a team aspect, we're competing right now. We're starting to put the bat on the ball a little bit more compared to how we were doing maybe earlier in the season during that first California series. So I'm liking that from a team aspect. Me, I've made some adjustments in my swing. I've really started to see that kind of last couple weeks. Hitting the ball a little bit harder. The ball's starting to find the ground a little more for me, so I'm liking that. Just about my game right now.
So this is your second year at Nixa, previously at Parkview. How was
Yeah.
the transition for you? I mean, did Nixa come and let you in with open arms? Was it nice?
No, everybody was really welcoming here, and I think that's the thing I appreciate the most about my transition is how easy the coaches and my teammates made that on me. I felt right at home the moment I stepped foot on campus here. So with that being said, though, it wasn't easy. There's a academic element to it that was definitely an adjustment. School here is much harder than it is in Springfield. And then, athletically, there's a lot of guys in the program here. I came from a program where, we might only have 20 guys on a team in a given year, don't have a freshman team, and can barely field a JV team. So the atmosphere is a little bit different in a couple different senses. Team's a little bit bigger. There's a lot more competition between positions and to get time on the field. And then, there's a winning culture here. We like to win here. I like to win. There's an expectation to kind of uphold that. I think that was a little bit different too. But yeah.
You play two positions. You play second and catcher.
Yeah.
That's a lot of work, but do you like it to keep it fresh? You get to play a different position?
I like. I think one of the best parts of my game is that defensively I feel as though I can play just about anywhere on the field. I've played some outfield before. I've played some infield before this year. I'm kind of splitting time between catching and second base. So it's fun to see different sides of the ball, get to play some second catch a little bit. I think it's a valuable asset for me just going forward with my career. Coaches knowing that I can play multiple places on the field, but I'd say I like it, mixing it up a little bit.
So you're a senior committed to play baseball at the next level. Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
What's your leadership role in the locker room? You have a bunch of kids younger than you that are also trying to do exactly what you're doing, trying to go to college baseball. What do you preach to them? What's your relationship like with everyone in the locker room?
Yeah, I've never been the most vocal person, I think, on any of the teams I've been a part of. So with that being said, I really try to make an effort to always be doing the right thing at the right time. Because you never know who's watching you. So that whole leading by example thing, always doing the right thing, that's something I do because I hope others can see that and then they want to emulate that. Also, with that being said, I want to be a positive force in the dugout. I always want to be. I never want to be down. I always want to be up. Anytime my teammates might be having a bad day at the plate or something like that, they might be down. Hopefully they can see me up all the time, and that helps pick them up a little bit. So I just try to bring a lot of positivity, I'd say, into the dugout and into the locker room, that type of thing. So, yeah.
It's awesome. As a catcher, having a good relationship with the pitching staff is pretty much essential for a
Yeah.
catcher. What do you do to help build good relationships with pitchers? Because I see, you and Jack both have amazing relationships with every single pitcher you have. You and Colin especially are really tight. So
Yeah.
what do you guys do to build that relationship?
It starts very early in the year, before the season even starts. We're catching bullpens with those guys, almost year round, I think. It starts there in the bullpens, working with guys, talking to them, what looks good, what doesn't, what they're working on. And then, we're friends off the ball field too. So I think that also plays a big role in it. Being able to, hang out and talk with those guys outside of a baseball setting too helps build some chemistry there that, you can then go onto the field and kind of use that to your advantage because, the batter's going to be a little bit more comfortable with each other and, get better results that way, I think. So, yeah.
Yeah, I just want to touch on that about conversations and stuff. You guys are the most unprofessional professional team I've ever met in my life. You guys know when it's time to play baseball, when it's time to lock in, when it's time to have fun. I was on the bus ride with you guys for 3 hours to Springdale. You guys were laughing and having time in your lives, but right when you guys touched your cleats on the dirt, it was game time. And I think that's very, very cool to see out of a team. So what do you like that as a member of the team?
Yeah, it's a game. I mean, it's meant to be fun, and like I'm going to cherish the best rides and all the memories that I make with these guys. I'm not going to remember, probably exactly what our record was here in 10 years. I'm going to remember all those fun trips that we took together and stuff like that. But with that being said, I mean, I mentioned earlier we want to win, and there's definitely a time to lock in and take care of business. But then there's also a time, to relax, have fun, because I think it's not just all about the game. Right? Like I'm here to build relationships with guys and have a good time here. But with that being said, I'm also here to win baseball games and handle my business that way as well. But I think the team does a good job of striking a balance between those two things.
So you have any weird superstitions, pregame routines, anything?
I always have my little routine, kind of in the on deck circle, kind of the set of swings I take. I take some half swings, and then kind of a couple different field things. I don't know about any pregame like rituals or superstitions that I necessarily have. Can't really think of any right now.
Very good. Thank you for your time, Garrick.
Yes.
So that's all we got for episode 2. Some great games coming up. We got Joppa tomorrow, Fayetteville Friday, and then Willard to start off the next week, Tuesday. That's going to be a really tough schedule, and Nixa is in for a fun treat. That's all I have for you guys. Tune in tomorrow. Nixa takes on Joplin at home, 4:30 p.m. See you guys then.